So my first video is going to be a movie review when I'm not a movie review YouTube page. But I was so compelled to make content out of what I just seen, I had to do it with the biggest smile on my face. I had to do it. Halloween Ends is probably one of the most boring, poorly paced pieces of crap. No, crap. That's too harsh. It's not a piece of crap. Because Kills was a piece of crap. So it's worse than Kills. It's worse than Resurrections. It's worse than Kills. So what will we call this? Just boring? I don't know. It's not good. And I don't know what's going on in Blumhouse and what's up with their can't make a part 2 or 3 to a movie without it like super sucking. But their whole let's give them $5 million and you work backwards crap is not working anymore. And I just can't wait to see what Five Nights at Freddy's gonna be like. It's probably gonna be way worse than this. I mean, that story is already awful, but it's gonna be way worse than this. So they clearly had some money to work with on the first one. The first one made a lot of money. I don't know what happened with Kills, because usually when that happens, you got money to play with in the second movie. I don't know what happened with Kills, but maybe somebody put that money in their pocket, because Kills was a piece of garbage. I don't care what, if it was COVID, maybe, whatever, but Kills was a piece of garbage. Evil Dies Tonight. Piece of garbage. It was like Shakespearean dialogue. It was awful. They dialed that back a lot in this movie, but the times they did it, it was still ridiculous. Like, I'm so over Laurie Strode. I'm so over Halloween. I want it to be over with. The next people that grab this, I need them to actually put some money in this and have people that can tell a story. Maybe get James Gunn on it. Just watch Peacemaker, and that was like fantastic. I didn't think it was going to be any good at all. I'm a huge John Cena fan now. That TV show was great. But I can't even like begin to start.
It's been 4 years since Michael Myers vanished without a trace.
With how bad this was. It was awful. It was a bait and switch. The first trailers had you believe this movie was going to be something else. The final trailer hinted at what it was going to be, and then spoiled like every single kill in the movie, including the last one.
It all ends now.
And I don't know who these incompetents are that directed this or was in charge of letting this come out. I guess I should start from the beginning. This is going to be very spoiler heavy, so you probably need to beat it if you care about that kind of thing. Corey is Roy Burns from Friday the 13th. 5. He's the new Michael Myers. He is the babysitter, though, like he's like Laurie Strode, I guess. He's a male babysitter in 2019, which was just weird to me, but whatever. He was babysitting a child in 2019, his neighbor's kid. He was supposed to be like the sensitive, sweet guy. He decided to drink chocolate milk over beer. That's how sensitive he is. I'm saying this in heavy quotations, because they're like emphasizing how nice of a kid that he is. And to the point that it was over the top. But they want you to sympathize with this kid for some reason, instead of just like it being a normal kid and having normal dialogue. They can't do that. So, I mean, they did it in 2018 for the most part with that black kid, because he was funny and the dialogue that they had wasn't awful. But this is like, the moment the parents leave, the kid that he's babysitting turns into like a villain and starts bullying the adult and bullies him to the point where he locks him into a room and was like, Michael Myers is going to get you, blah, blah, blah. He doesn't kill kids, he kills babysitters. And he freaked the kid out so bad, the babysitter out so bad that he broke the door down like the Incredible Hulk and smashed the kid's face in the door, and he fell over the banister hilariously to his death. Now, as a father, that's a crazy sentence, but I laughed my ass off when I saw that death. It was so ridiculously shot. It was like out of Jackass. So of course now he's like Haddonfield Monster #2. So they dial back Laurie Strode from being like militant psychopath, survivalist, to like now everything's normal. I'm going to the grocery store. I'm a normal person. I got a new house. I'm normal. My daughter's dead. Her father's dead. My granddaughter is still alive, but her father's dead because of me. You know, killed the whole family because of me. But I'm normal. So they bring up one of the neighbors from Kills, the lady that you like, who like gives a fuck about, the drone lady. She's still alive apparently, and they want you to feel bad for this chick, like who gives a fuck. But like, you know, they rammed it in her face, so apparently this happens all the time. And she's trying to live her life. So she has this B story where she's writing a book. Who cares? I'm never going to bring it up again. I just brought that up just because. But I'm never going to talk about it after this point. So the cop with the shitty dialogue from part 1 and 2 is back now. He's barely in this movie. He's just here to like move the story along and be like a 13-year-old kid trying to swoo another 13-year-old kid. And it's weird. He feels like he doesn't fit in this movie, and he's just there. And meanwhile, Allison, Karen's daughter, is dating Corey, who's introduced to her by Laurie. Laurie sees him getting bullied by Stephen King bullies, cliched bullies, and introduces him, this grown man, to her grown grandchild. And they hit it off immediately because, you know, she went through some shit, he went through some shit, let's go through some shit together type thing. And for the most part, it was working until the cliched, he's out having fun, and the mother of the kid, 4 years later, he went to jail. Corey did, for killing the kid. He gets out like 4 or 5 years later, and of jail 4 or 5 years later, and he goes out to have fun with Allison, and the mother is there, still living in the same city after her child was killed. I don't understand why these people go through like this crazy trauma. The mother and father of that kid clearly divorced from a scene that you're going to see later in the movie. Clearly they're divorced, but they decide to stay in the city. She is in town disheveled. They're at like a Halloween party. She's at a Halloween party looking like super alcoholic lady. And she was like, "You're having fun? You can't have fun. You killed my kid." And rabble. Which is a reasonable thing to feel, but like it's written so poorly, I just couldn't help but laugh at it. Because directly at that point, that's like the point in the movie where now everything is about to like go super bad for him. So he immediately leaves the party like he's Carrie. And he gets re-bullied. But this time he gets bullied by like Stephen King's It 2017 bullies. And they like throw him over a bridge. The one bully like takes it up a notch and like throws him over like the most shallowest bridge in the world. I don't even know what it's supposed to be bridging, but like they throw him over. He lands in like in grass, and he looks like Mojo Jojo after he got beat the fuck up by the Powerpuff Girls, where he hits the ground, and then next thing you know, they cut after they leave. Like, oh, you killed him. Like, no, I didn't. He fell. That's my story. They leave and. He gets dragged away by Michael Myers. Michael Myers like drags him into like the Pennywise, the clown sewer. where he's living, like obviously where he's living, like probably the only place like that in town. There's like one homeless person in all of Haddonfield, and that one homeless person lives like directly across the way from Michael Myers, and the homeless guy knows that Michael Myers is in there. Because when the kid gets spooked and leaves after seeing Mike, after Michael doesn't kill him, by the way, Michael saves him, gives pity on him, doesn't kill him, and let him go.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
When he leaves, he gets accosted by a homeless guy, and then he stabs the homeless guy on some like, well, the homeless guy had a knife, but then he ends up like constantly stabbing him like Patrick Bateman. So he runs away, and then he turns directly into Tobey Maguire from Spider-Man 3. Like, directly into it. Like, his whole demeanor changes. He's, like, completely a different person now. Like, it was so jarring. It was like, it felt like they cut some parts out of the movie. So now he has a bloodlust, basically what they're trying to say. And not only does he have a bloodlust, his parents are written from a Stephen King movie. Like now his parents, well, I'm sorry, his parents is written like a Rob Zombie movie. All of a sudden, his mother is like super abusive and like weird to him. He's a grown man, but like she's like super weird to him. He becomes super weird. He's like standing behind a bush like he's Michael Myers. And of course, Laurie Strode sees it because of course she does. He goes to Allison's house, and on his way there, he like stands behind the bush for some reason, which made no sense. And then he like Sinister 2 jump scares Laurie Strode. Like he ends up behind her. Like it was no way for him to pop from there, for where the camera was positioned, but he somehow gets behind her and jump scares her, and now she's like, he's Michael Myers. I've seen it. I looked in his eyes. I saw evil. Even though, even when he was acting creepy then, he was still acting like the normal guy to her. He was acting normal and super nice. But she jumped right to like the obvious conclusion of how the story was going to go. Because the only way she would have got that conclusion is the story writers are still don't know how to tell a story, so they couldn't get to that point, so they had to do that. So moving the story right along, now she's like super worried about this guy, and she's stalking him, but not when she needs to stalk him. Like she stalks him to like he takes Allison to the house where he killed the kid, and he tells her that he killed somebody, but he was talking about the little boy. They go into the house, and he like tells her that he's thinking about just ending it all. You know, sympathy stuff. You know, these aren't bad. Like their interactions are actually pretty decent. They're good actors and they got good chemistry together. In a better movie, this would have worked. In a Halloween anthology movie, oh yeah, the font was from Season of the Witch, so I guess that's the whole point of this, blah, blah, blah. Shut up. Screen Rant is going to make a video about the Easter eggs in this stupid fucking movie, but they had good chemistry together, and in a better movie, like I said, this would have worked, but you know, their forbidden love, like Shakespeare shit, just didn't work in a Halloween movie, and he was turning up more and more as time goes. So he killed a homeless man, then he goes on like a field trip murder spree with fucking Michael Myers. Like him and Michael Myers like team up together.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
He gets a mask out of the blue and like goes kills somebody with Michael Myers. The people he killed is all connected to people that he knows. He killed Allison's coworker and boss. Well, he killed the boss. Michael Myers killed the coworker. Then after that, who did he kill? He killed the DJ that bullied him in front of Allison. Some scenes before that. The DJ you hear through the whole movie. So the DJ becomes like super omega asshole. So instead of like writing dialogue for him or showing him as a normal character, he's like Howard Stern dickhead, but like worse. So like you want him to die, but it was so over the top. Like I just didn't care. So when he randomly popped up at the fucking station, of course he killed him and the innocent woman there. Like he just completely got a bloodlust. Laurie Strode is following him at this point, but now where he's murdering folks. So he goes back. His mother like flips out on him from coming home late. He goes and sleeps at the house where he killed the kid. Laurie Strode is there on some like, I'm watching you shit. Don't bother my granddaughter no more. She has no reason at this point to know that he's like that outside of just looking into his eyes. She has no idea that these people were murdered. These people aren't even considered missing yet. The guy who bullies him at a restaurant with Allison follows him back to the sewer where he like bags the homeless guy up like a Jason Voorhees victim. So when he finds him, he falls out the fucking homeless tent thing he had set up like a Jason Voorhees victim at the end of the Friday the 13th movies. And then that guy gets drugged to Mike and they kill him in the sewer and Mike like powers up from this or some shit. So he's like depowered like Freddy Krueger and Jason versus Freddy. So for those taking score at home, they changed his story up or lore up several times. One, he's supernatural. He's supernatural in one movie where he knows that his mask is there without seeing it. Or people around him knows the mask is there without him even knowing it. But you can argue against that point because he was talking about it and the podcaster guy was clearly egging him on and clearly was reaching for something. So maybe, you can interpret it, that terrible scene any way you want to. That scene sucked. Go back and rewatch it. I don't care what nobody got to say. That was an awfully shot, awfully terrible scene. Those podcasters were awful. I was happy when they all died. So, but in that movie, they kept it kind of close. But then, in the second movie, he gets shot, stabbed, all types of shit, even at the end of 2018, because that's connected to kills, by the way, same day. And then reshot, stabbed, and all that shit in the next movie. And he's fine. He stands up and kills everybody. And then teleports behind a Karen and kills her too. All that's gone. He disappears. And then Laurie Strode, who was like super psycho, like I said, survivalist, decides to throw that away. Now she's not that person no more. She's living normally. She has a gun in a safe. Like a gun in a case inside of a safe with the lock on it. And it was locked. So again, there's a new Michael Myers. He's teaming up with this guy. He gets the bloodlust, Corey does. Then he goes and gets Michael Myers' mask. He beats Michael Myers up. Let me say that again. Corey, normal guy, beats Michael Myers, who killed somebody who's powered up at this point because he turned this woman into a goddamn Christmas ornament. Beats up Michael Myers and takes his mask. Okay. I was done at that point. But then he goes and kills the bullies, of course. One of the bullies killed the guy that was nice to him through the whole movie. But the guy that was nice to him was like ready for this to go down. So he had like 2 loaded guns at work. Like a fucking rifle and a pistol. Like ready for this kid to go crazy, apparently. Because as soon as somebody came in there, like, he's killing everybody. He was like, ready to go. Loaded weapons, handed some child that he never met before, doesn't even know what's going on outside, just hands the kid some fucking gun. He goes outside. The kid with the gun shoots the man perfectly in the head, after he got tricked by Corey Michael Myers. Then he ends up killing everybody else. Not only that, he stepped on the girl's head and smashed it into pieces. So he's super powered at this point too, right? Somehow. And then he goes to kill Laurie Strode. This is the fucking end of the movie. This shit was so fucking stupid. if I saw this in a movie theater, I would have just left. This was so bad. This is worse than Martha in Batman versus Superman. So he goes. We cut to Lori. We see Allison looking for Corey. Corey says, "Hey, let's run away together." Blah 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 blah. The day before, she decides she wants to do it that day because she had enough of Lori. She goes looking for him. Corey kills his mom in between all of this. She's at the house where Corey's mom is dead. I don't know why they didn't have her like go in the house, like he left the door open or something, and she just nudges the door open and sees the mom dead so she can put 2 and 2 together, which would make more sense for her to pop up at the house or something. So she pops up at the house, at his house, texting him, can't find him. She leaves. She goes home. Well, goes to her grandmother's house, I guess. And then, because she's an adult, by the way. So then she goes to her grandmother's house. Laurie Strode is like about to kill herself, literally planning on killing herself. She doesn't know anybody's in the house. Corey's in the house somewhere. Planning on killing herself, sets it up. She's doing all this for the camera. Nobody's in the room. Nobody's watching her. There's no way for her to be watched. Shoots a pumpkin that she lit. And then Corey opens the door and then she says, you think I'd really kill myself? And then shoots him twice. This was a reshoot. This movie clearly was going to end with her killing herself or something. Michael was dead the whole time or something and found out that Corey was just the guy. And then she was going, or maybe they added Corey. I don't know. But I feel like this movie was supposed to end with her killing herself. So now we about to hit like more ridiculous than fucking Corey beating up Michael. So she shoots Corey, and Corey here, Allison pulls up, and is like, well, if I can't have her, you can't have her either. He kills himself. She takes the knife out of his neck, bloody knife out of his neck. Allison walks in the house at this point. You. She leaves. Before that, Lori called the police and said, I'm about to, somebody just committed suicide. Come, please, or whatever. So while she's leaving, Deputy Doofy calls Allison and says, hey, there's a suicide. Your grandma called about a suicide or something. What's going on? That makes Allison turn around. She called the suicide in like 30 minutes ago. No police showed up yet. Like before the Corey situation. Before Allison pulled up. At least 10 minutes has gone by. No police showed up. He didn't even show up. He calls Allison first. He somehow knows. He calls Allison first. She turns around. Michael Myers is in the house. He gets his mask. He re-kills Corey. Like Mercy kills Corey. Now he's like shooting the fade with Laurie Strode. A powered up Michael Myers, by the way. Shooting the fade with him, with Laurie Strode, a woman that sells pudding to make people regular. She beats him up, crucifies him, drops a refrigerator on him, just for like the lulz at this point. He somehow is still able to grab her. She stops fighting and was just like, just kill me. Fuck it. Just do it. Then they go through like the flashback of the first movie and some of the fucking other terrible movies that she was actually in. The original Halloween in 2018, because she wasn't in Kills, basically. She was sidelined the whole movie. So there was no flashbacks from that. Allison, they showing Allison flashbacks too in the middle. This was so weirdly shot. Then Allison comes in like she like was about to like cut his arm off, but like it's they showed what she did in 2018, and she just basically just grabbed his arm and was like, no, this ends tonight. And they strap him to the top of a car like a deer. And then like the police and the rest of the town and the people that survived both of his attacks take him to like the junkyard and they put him in a car crusher at the end. This was a huge piece of shit. I know this didn't make any money, and if it did, there's no justice in the world. But I'm glad it didn't make any money. I'm glad that they had no faith in this movie. They put it on Peacock. It didn't make money on Peacock the last time, so why would they think it was going to make money this time? They knew they had a stinker on their hands, and they just put it on Peacock. Blumhouse is an incompetent horror company. They are literally like the worst horror company out right now. People like 24 or A24 is killing it. Then you got like these idiots and this rich dummy that's giving anybody money to make any piece of shit that they want. I'm glad these people are making any money, but holy fucking shit, does Halloween need to be put in the hands of somebody that's competent? Competent writers, competent people around him. I don't give a fuck that John Carpenter is doing the music. Have him direct or something. Stop making your fucking shitty synthesized music. Actually, the music was actually really good. But fuck, stop making fucking music and redirect or something. Because these movies are dog shit without you being involved in the fucking driver's seat, bro. The music is actually really fucking good, but fuck, everything else was terrible. God, the music was good. Fuck, he's really good at fucking making music, but fuck me. He's a good director too. The Thing is the best horror movie ever. The original Halloween was fucking fantastic. Part 2 didn't suck either. Come back, bro. Because these people are destroying your legacy. That's all I got, man. I'm out.